Hey y'all, it's me Azalea, and you're watching a fun little garden vlog today on my YouTube channel, WayCrunchy. I've done some other gardening vlogs that you folks really liked. So, back in my last apartment and in my big old white house I used to live in, I had full sun. I mean, I was gardening out of control. I mean, it was just ideal situation. So I'm in part sun now. I live at the barn if you watch this channel, and this part sun has been discouraging. Like, there is nothing like full sun to help stuff grow, but you can still do a whole lot in part sun. So if you're in partial shade, part sun, then use this to encourage you. I live in Central Virginia, if you're curious about the climate. So I'm gonna just take y'all around the garden today, show you what's growing. So in the back garden, I have 4 raised beds, and I did that one video on how to fill raised beds, like for the cheapest way. I stand by all that. And we had big heavy rain yesterday, which was great because I don't have to water, but it like knocked over some of my squash plants and knocked over one of my tomato cages, so I gotta fix that up. So my one little pepper plant that was by the tomato plant was just like killed by being fell on by this tomato plant. This poor little thing, so droopy, dead looking. This monstrosity smushed it. These are one of those hundreds cherry tomato plants, and if you like cherry tomatoes, you will get hundreds. You really will. Let's see, I had some little aphids on here. Where'd they go? Away. And trim off some of these bad leaves. Had a terrible rough start this year. Cold start to the season. I think these peppers got right stunted. Had slugs eating everything. I did a video on those terrible slugs and what I finally did to beat back their population. This is my son's little private garden bed. His pepper's growing right big. He picked his peppers early though while they're little babies. Dusty Miller, he picked some of their bottom leaves too just to play with. Little marigold. I'll go ahead and pinch the dead end off for him. You get more blooms that way. He's got this thyme he's had since last year, and then one pepper plant that I thought was gonna die, but it's done came back.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm 8 years old and I love to garden. Right now I'm planting some marigolds. This one's dying, and I know how to save it because I was taught by a very green-thumbed gardener, my mom. And she's a great person, she really is. And so, where's that stick that I found that was perfect? Oh yes, here, that is. So we're gonna put that right there. Keep it standing up. Should. I'll put some rocks for support. And it worked. There we go. Tune in for another video of Tom's gardening. Over and out.
This is my cucumber. I'm loving this cucumber. I've got it over on some little like wire fencing that I actually got off the curb somewhere. Someone was throwing it away. I've had so much use for this. I'm gonna show you how the cucumbers are hanging down. I love it. Start over here, and then it grows on around, you know. But I got these beautiful little cucumbers. I ate my first one today. I picked that and ate it. You know, I love keeping my cucumber up off the ground. This is a little brain celosia. I need to thin this. Bunch of little plants here coming up. Thinned it. Oh, look at all the sad little nubbins. I hate thinning things. Feels like murder. This mimosa tree that's dead, but keeps bringing little sprouts back up. This is some bee balm. I started from seed this year. Excited for this to grow up. That should be perennial, I do believe. Started snapdragons from seed all over the place. You know, you get those little short snapdragons at Lowe's or nurseries a lot, but these nice tall snapdragons, I found I had to start from seed. And people will tell you, seed packs will tell you the annuals. I'm telling you, they are at least biennials, if not perennials. Trust what happens in your own yard, not what the pack says. I got into an argument with a master gardener about that. I said it just ain't so. She said, Mom, we're reseeding. I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. This is where I feed my squirrels. This is where I place a little water. Got some zinnias, some patty pans, squash, marigold, cucumber, trying to come up on these, but there's even less sun right here. Got some of those nice tall snapdragons, started from seed. They'll come on up and be back next year. Now this is a tomato over here that had a tomato worm. Yes, we really had a tomato worm yesterday. I was going to bring them inside and keep them because they're just so beautiful. I'm going to show you that tomato worm now. This little spot over here, I got some radishes in from seed. They'll grow up real quick. Got some little milkweeds that I started from seeds. They're perennial. They should come on in. Food for the caterpillars. Got some more brain celosia, milkweed. The most saddest little nasturtiums you ever seen in your life. Let me cut off the ugly leaves. Lord, this is shade, I'm telling you. If you ever got morning glories in your yard, you'll have them forever. They'll pop up and reseed like the dickens. I've been going through and weeding and trimming and pruning all along this video, and this is what I have so far. In this bed, I'm letting some Swiss chard go to seed. And I'm letting some parsley go to seed. Collect those seeds up. Here's the parsley. Just let it flower and then you'll see the seeds eventually. Same thing with the Swiss chard. Wait till they're all brown and dry and then bring them inside. Marigold, gotta deadhead these. Got some radishes coming in over here. A little basil. Chamomile. I think this might be stunted from all the cold weather we had. Now this is a parsley from last year that I cut off at the base, and then it sprouted up new plants, and it keeps trying to flower, and I keep cutting the flowers off or eating them to see if I can just keep this for the rest of the year for a little bit of fresh parsley through the summer. Marigold. Little celosia seeds got into my compost. So celosia has popped up everywhere, but that's fine. It's going to bloom great August, September. Basil. Rose rosemary, thyme, a little lavender I put in this year, some little tiny leafed basils that got stunted in that cold weather, I do believe, a little nasturtium coming in. Oodles of those little celosia I was telling y'all about. Nasturtium, celosia, and some little dills I've just recently planted. Marigolds, celosia. Sometimes I get a tomato coming up out of my compost. This late in the year I wouldn't normally start a tomato, but it wanted to live so bad, so I'm gonna let it. Basil and beets. Let's look at a beetroot. Look at that. Look at that beet. I love beets. I love to juice them, roast them, stir fry them, eat the greens, eat the root. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is my lovely little garden path over by the house. So I'm very shaded. So over here I've got lemon balm. Then I got mint. Then I got oregano. So these are great shade things if you need advice on what's growing your shade. And then I started a different variety of mint this year. The oregano, lemon balm, and mint I put in my first year here last year. I like to break little sticks, use it as homemade mulch in this area where grass doesn't really grow. I just dug up a fern out the woods near a creek and put it in here, and it is happy as a clam. I'm gonna do a whole bunch more and just cover in this whole little ugly meter area. Free, totally free. This happy fern, a little bit of a ground cover I dug up with it. Happiest little fern I ever did see. I really like to preserve my moss over here. Fern and moss, great for the shade. Oh, gotta clean up around here, don't I? Mint, white zinnia, this is almost full shade. Milkweed, morning glory. Dill, morning glory, celosia. Here's a nice celosia. Started sooner, zinnia. Sunflowers. I love me some sunflowers. I tell you, I don't know. It's early to say how tall I think these will get. 12 foot easy. I save the seeds from these every year and do them again. Anyway, they'll have blooms all over them, and the yellow finches will come, and the yellow finches are the #1 reason I always do tons and tons of sunflowers. I got flower patches around front, but I'm not going to show y'all those this time. That's about it for right now. Bye. See y'all later. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want me to talk about.